morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Conscious Straight Talk with Katie and Lindsey.
My name is Katie Hutchinson, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also a certified mediator.
And I'm Lindsey Kearns, the mama behind MalibuMamaLoves.com, and I'm also a certified conscious trauma-informed life coach. So we have been doing a series on cheating. Katie has been very bravely sharing her story with us.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get back to that. We broke on Friday and talked about the war and coping mechanisms you can use with this scary type of news. Today we're going to go hit part 6.
Yes, and I hope you guys are all doing okay and trying to stay away from, just not that you can't read the newspaper, but nobody reads the newspaper, reads their phone, but just don't, let's just try to be positive.
Try to stay away from the images that are out there and the negativity. And just send a lot of light and love. But let me recap for you guys, just so we can get back in the moment of this, what has been happening. You guys were married for 10 years. You started to suspect him of cheating. He started doing various different things that we discussed, all those signs in that episode.
Of the 40-year-old midlife crisis.
Yeah, well, that and for cheaters, things, different signs.
He really was 40, just so you know. He just turned 40. But
so you had hid outside and heard a conversation that you basically just busted him. Found out about this girl.
He said, I love you. She said, I love you and can't wait to see you in New York. So that's probably a sign that he's having an affair.
You guys got, you got very angry. That's extremely hurtful. And the two of you kind of came to blows. You had a little physical altercation that resulted with you spending the night in the hospital.
In the hospital. That's okay. That would have been a happier place.
We did an episode on jailhouse therapies.
Yes.
And then you had a very colorful evening.
I did have a colorful evening. I did miss the tennis match, which is, still very upsetting for me. Very traumatic. But yes.
You came home the next day, went to your mother's. He called you to babysit.
So he could go out with his girlfriend and was trying on different shirts.
And then you hired your lawyers.
I hired a divorce attorney, and then a couple days later I had to get a criminal attorney, and I will say his name. His name is Bill Haney, and he's extraordinary. So shout out to Bill if you ever need a criminal attorney. Not that I ever thought I would need one, but he's amazing.
And so you had gone through this small process, and you had to leave your house.
So I was kicked out within 24 hours. I had some clothes, but I had taken just mostly pictures and like my family's silver, you know what I mean? Stuff like that just was sentimental to me. I basically...
Which was smart. I wish I had done that.
Yeah, I basically... And it was good because he erased every picture of me.
Yeah.
So the children have nothing except for everything that I kept. So that's a good thing. And even though I had to end up buying everything else for the house that I ended up moving in because I left everything, which was probably hundreds of thousands of dollars,
easily,
it was still worth it because the pictures are number one.
Yeah. I'm when we had the fires... and we had to evacuate. My son was like dying laughing at me because, and my daughter too, because all I took were the baby books, the pictures, all this stuff. They're like, Mom, what about your this? And what? And I'm like, no, just leave it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll take my passport and my license and the pictures.
We got our documents, our credit cards.
Because the pictures you can't recreate.
Waste, especially. A lot our pictures, our kids
older.
So they're not digitally on there yet.
We need to make sure we need to do that. Yeah. We can do that nowadays.
Like our baby pictures, my kids are all on stills.
Me too.
Yeah.
My baby pictures are on little...
Mine are,
whatever it's called.
Those will never get to replace.
No, we can. There's a machine. We can get a sharper image. We're going to do it together.
So anyway, you had that. You packed up. Where did you go?
So I went to the Residence Inn, and then they have like some suites, which I needed because he got a restraining order against me. And it's not like I was, scaling the walls to his place or stalking him.
No,
I didn't
want to... He was lawyering up and taking advantage
He was
of
doing,
everything.
Yes. And because of domestic violence, you can get all of this without doing anything.
Right.
So he could get a restraining order against me, which I was like, what? I can't even stand you. I'm not even talking to you. He got supervised. He took my kids away. I only got them like a day and a half or 2 days. And when I did get them, I had to be supervised by an 18-year-old nanny or my mother who was not into grandmother.
This is a little bit of an issue I take with the court system because he called you the day you got out of jail to come and take care of his children.
I know.
So why then would he try to get the restraining order?
Because
but
it
the
looks
court
good.
should be aware of that, right?
Yeah,
and it's not right to do to somebody.
Yeah, and actually we don't have this for today, but I will just add this right here. What helped me get off of the, get out of the felony, which by the way I would have lost my license. He also we did go to therapy once, and he tried to go after that therapist license because she wrote me a letter saying I was a really good mom. It's just like craziness. But what was the point of what I was saying? There was something that I was saying that was important, but now I've lost it.
About going to court, what they can do in a domestic violence charge.
Yeah. Well, one thing is that I had to have supervised visits. But one thing that's, and I was devastated because the children are everything to me, and he knew he was destroying me by having the children. And I also found out that he was leaving the children in the car, a 2.5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 10-year-old in the car. No, a 9-year-old.
And he had also removed the pool fence too, didn't he?
And he took down the pool fence with a 2.5-year-old and a sliding glass door that went out to the backyard that didn't work properly. And I found out about that, and I called my lawyer, and I said, what? Like, my kid is 2.5 years old. Like, what can I do about this? He could, drown. And my lawyer said, well, try to take a picture. I said, I have a restraining order against me. He's like, I don't know. Try to, climb over the gate, take a picture. He goes, but even so, there's really nothing we can do unless he drowns. I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
And that's the same with stalking.
Oh.
The laws are really tough. I've been stalked before, and we can't help
There's
you.
There's nothing they can do.
Until you're shot or hurt or
we have to wait until you're stabbed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which isn't really working out well for a lot of us. So, so I was in the residence inn. I only had my kids for 2 days.
How long? You were there for 3 months?
So I was there for 3 months. I celebrated, because this was the early November, I celebrated my birthday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas in a hotel. And let me tell you, I wasn't doing well. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep.
You couldn't go to your house?
No, I couldn't go. I had a restraining order, because I'm a stalker, of which I'm not. I'm kidding. But, and let's see. I'm running through red lights because I literally was so out of it that I thought the light was green, which is not me. I'm I drive like I'm 95 years old.
She does.
I do.
Way too slow.
I do. I drive the speed
I'm
limit
the opposite.
5 miles over.
I have a heavy foot.
She's got a heavy foot. I have a light foot. So that's what was going on. So what else? I got that. Okay, so my dad went nuts. My dad is a little bipolar, and this made him a little manic. So we were just a disaster. My mom, my dad, my sister, and myself. I was in therapy 3 times a week for about 5 years so that I could function and really work on myself. And I did. And she really helped me because I was like, I love him. I still love my family. I don't want because it's the loss of, we talked about this before. It's a death. It's a death. It's the loss of your future, your grandchildren together, watching your kids grow up.
Did you ever look up the other woman or anything? Try to find out what that was all about?
So I had a private investigator because I still was, even though I knew he was cheating in my mind, I was like, no, I was completely in denial. So I did have a private investigator, and I think I talked before about that. He was caught, and I accidentally sent him the text message and all my friends, but I didn't mean to send it to him. And then what really got me off of, in addition, he put spyware on my computer. So that was I took that down and made a police report with my private investigator. They did nothing. It sat there for 5 years, and then I went and picked it up. And then there was spyware on my phone. And nothing happened with that. They were like, I don't know. They didn't even know how to deal with that 6 years ago. Yeah. So, let's see.
Anything you tried to find the woman? Did you try to talk to her?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just want to say one other thing. The way that I got off from the criminal piece was, my attorney. But one of the biggest things is that my private investigator interviewed my son, my 10-year-old son at this point, who had seen everything. And he basically said, Daddy choked Mom, Daddy threw Mom down, Daddy, almost killed Mom, blah, blah, blah. And that's what got me off. So thank goodness, because I would have also lost my therapist's license.
That would have been tough.
Yes. So my friends were constantly checking on me. What I did find out about the girlfriend is she was a little older than I was. Not that that matters. But where I went to Berkeley, she went to Harvard. Where I had a company that was really successful, a lingerie company, she had a company that was making millions. Whereas I lived in Thousand Oaks-ish area, she was in Beverly Hills. Like, she beat me at everything. I was like, she was beating me at everything. And so I had a couple of friends that were really, really active during this time when I was falling apart, you know. And so one Sunday while I was in the hotel, I called one of my best friends. I said, I can't. I have to. Well, you need to call her. Because I have a restraining order. I can't call her. I go, you need to call her because I know people that know her. And I know that her husband cheated on her. So how could she do this to somebody? How could she ruin a family? And my friend was like, fine, I'll come over. You got to pull your SHIT together. S.
Yes, you did it right.
T. Okay. And she's like, I'll come and pick you up, and we'll leave the kids with somebody, and then we'll go get coffee, and then I'm going to call this woman. So she calls the girlfriend, and she's like, you know, I'm Katie Hutchinson's friend, and you are currently sleeping with her husband, and I just, you know, I want you to, and the girlfriend goes, well, I'm at work. She goes, oh, really? You're at work on a Sunday at 4 o'clock? She's like, yes, I am. And she goes, okay, well, I just want you to know, do you feel good about yourself for destroying a family with 3 little kids and a marriage like that? Does that make you feel good about yourself? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, yes, you do. We have pictures of you. So we know it's you, and we know that you're destroying this family, so you should just really think about that. And then my friend said, and by the way, we know that your husband cheated on you, so why would you do something like that to somebody else? Because you know the pain. So,
and she had no answer for you.
She said she had to go and start working, and then she hung up.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've spent the 3 months. I think this is a good place to break. Because we have another adventure coming.
6 years of adventure!
Next time we'll be talking about where you went after the hotel.
Where I
obviously
went.
You cannot stay in a hotel forever.
Well, they did have a free breakfast, and that was kind of nice for the kids. And then they got sick of Cheerios every day, but you know.
So we will see you guys on Wednesday.
And this should make your day look better, right? It could be worse. It could be worse. You could be in a hotel with a restraining order and a felony.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good day.
Yes. Happy Monday.